Everyone's journey to parenthood is different, and for some, it can be a long and painful process. Tara Schwartz chronicles her experiences with miscarriage and fertility treatments in her new novel, Can't Help Falling, and she joins us this morning. Great to see you.
Hi there.
Your story ends with you becoming a mother through adoption, but walk us through your journey to motherhood.
Oh boy, it was a long one. It's once you realize that you're having trouble having a baby, it's a very, very long road. So it was years of miscarriages, years of infertility treatments, years of going through the bureaucratic adoption process. So it takes a really long time, and it's a really difficult and heartbreaking situation to be in for any woman and any couple.
I've walked through some of that, but everybody's story is different. And a lot of times when people reach motherhood, they don't bother to write it down because they don't want to focus on the painful parts. Why did you choose to write the book?
I felt like when I got back from Korea after having adopted our little baby, I felt like I had so much that I needed to say, so much that I needed to get out of. And so I felt like I needed to put it down on paper, partly for me, partly for him. And in a way, I felt like going back to revisit all of that pain helped me in a way to process it, to move forward, to move on, to accept it. So I needed to put it somewhere.
There's going to be so many people who are glad that you did. We were just showing pictures of you with Sam, who is now 10 years old, double digits. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, he's a beautiful little boy who understands his story very, very well. He knows that he has a unique journey, that he came to us in a beautiful way. And anyone who's ever gone through the adoption process knows that it's a long, arduous process as well, but there's so much hope and glory at the end of it. So, it's worth it to keep on trying, even though sometimes it feels like it's a process that will never end.
We are coming up on Mother's Day, and that can be difficult for many people. Sometimes, people thinking that they're being helpful will ask questions about when's it going to be Mother's Day for you? Or even just hearing that phrase is a reminder of what's not in your life that you want to be there. Why do so many women still struggle to talk about infertility, and how do you tackle that in this book?
I don't think that it's the women who still struggle. I think it's society that struggles. I think that, like with any stigma, it makes people uncomfortable. So the women and the couples who are going through it don't talk about it because it makes people uncomfortable. And I think that that's what I'm trying to start to sort of light a fire under that conversation with this book, that we need to be able to talk about, that we need to be able to acknowledge the grief and the pain that goes along with miscarriage and not being able to do something that everyone else seems to be able to do so simply. So I think that conversation needs to happen. We need to acknowledge the pain of the people who are going through it, because just that acknowledgement opens the door to so much more.
And that it's not a failure.
It's certainly how it feels when you're going through it, that's for sure. We struggle, and I know there's so many women, more women than people realize, more women and more couples going through it. You struggle with shame, you struggle with guilt, you struggle with embarrassment, you struggle with frustration and anger, and your friends and your family getting pregnant and having children, and nobody saying anything to you to understand that this is a terribly painful process, except, the platitudes like, oh, just relax, it'll happen, or, you don't need children to be happy, those kinds of things. When people say them and they think they're being helpful, when really it dismisses the struggle. So, I encourage people to be able to acknowledge other people's pain, acknowledge how hard it is, because that will open the door to conversation, to understanding and compassion. And that's what we need.
What are you hoping that readers are going to take away from this book?
For the women and the couples who have gone through it and who are going through it, I would say that there's no timeline on grief, that you have every right to grieve for as long as you need, in any way that you need. And I would also say that there are other ways to become a mother and a parent. And they're not all easy, and they're not all for everyone, but to hold on to hope, explore your options and hold on for hope, for as long as you need, because it can be long and it can be hard. And for the people who love those people, I would encourage listening. I would encourage acknowledging the pain and listening.
Tara, I love that point that you made, that it is everybody's issue to be concerned about and to be informed about, too. Great to meet you. Thanks so much.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.